everyone, I'm Adam Harry from BoLS, and we're back again today with another unboxing. Today we're looking at the new Star Wars X-Wing Rebel Alliance Conversion Kit. Now this is for the brand new X-Wing 2.0, comes out December 13th. And we already have the conversion kit here, courtesy of FFG, and we're going to be going through all the fun stuff we're going to find here. So here's the back of the box. I'm pretty stoked about this one, so let's go ahead and dive into the new Rebel Alliance Conversion Kit. Just got the plastic wrap off the Rebel conversion kit, and for those of you who don't know what the conversion kits are for, these are to take your X-Wing first edition stuff to the new second edition. So right down here you can upgrade your ships, your Rebels specifically, from first edition to second edition. So that's what this box is for. So I'm pretty excited about it. Here at BoLS we have a pretty big X-Wing collection, so we've been looking forward to what this box is going to entail. So that's everything in the box. There's also those. Alright, what do we got here? This is a quick introduction. It's just going to show you all the different contents. The components list there is kind of ridiculous, so you can kind of see all the different ships. Yeah, just going to keep going. And we're going to be showing off all that stuff here in a moment. So, okay, moving on from there. Alright, this is a lot of pegs. These are going to be for the dials. We'll put that aside for now. This, ooh, it's a whole lot of cards. Alright, so it looks like 4 different packs of cards. We've got some new ship bases as well, which we'll go over, and then a whole lot of cardboard. Whoa, even more ship bases. Okay, first thing I want to do is we're going to take a look at how many stands we're getting. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, why start with the stands? Well, first off, these are brand new stands. These are the 1.5 size Mediumship Stands. This is a old school small stand, as you can see, for a regular ship, small ship. These new stands are 1.5 the size. You can see here the old large base ships were two times the size of a small ship base. Now these mediums are 1.5 times. So it's going to be a new important thing. There's a lot of new ships. A lot of old ships actually that use the medium base. Obviously there's at least 4, right? So there you go. I wanted to show that off. It's kind of a big deal. They also have these new kind of conversion pegs too. So they feel a little bit sturdier than previously, and they have a little triangle there so you can see how to slot them in. They're thicker comparatively to the previous stands. Whoa. And that's on the ground now. I lost it. But you can see there. But yeah, they're 1.5 times the size of a small base. So 4 of those are included in the box. Also in the conversion pack was a bag that contains additional components for the T65 X-Wing and the BTLA-4 Y-Wing. Apparently these components were not in the list, so they include these separately. So here you can see we've got Nora Wexley, Thane Kyrell, and Yvonne Verliane. Sorry, butchering that, I know. But these are the new ships, new cards for them as well, and also has a little explainer card here to go along with that. But yeah, just to add to your X-Wings and Y-Wings, and then of course the other things you need to run these ships, they're new bases. So you can see here, we basically get like a little mini palette of cardboard that we're going to be using to upgrade from the previous expansion. These are all the cardboard cutouts, base upgrades and stuff like that you need to play with for your previous ships. We've got Han Solo, Lando, those are in the YT 1300, the Millennium Falcon. We've got the Outrider with Dash Rendar and Leebo. We've also got Chopper and Kanan Jarrus, again, those 2 guys in the VCX 100 ship as well. That's the one from the cartoon Rebels. And then there's a bunch of other stuff too. It looks like we got K-Wing, which is actually the new medium ships. So 2 K-Wings there with Marina Doty and Asajj Tiku. And then looks like that is the Arc Fighter, Garvin Jarrus and Esteban. So pretty cool stuff, and I know I'm butchering those names, but there you have it. We also have these to go into your dials as well. If you have the fancy special edition hard plastic dials, those are what those are for. And then we flip those over, and you can see even more ships, pilots for those. Again, Nora Wexley, Shara Bay, and on. So you can see all those. That's the first one down. Next up, even more ships. A bunch of small ships. Matter of fact, let me turn it sideways here. We can see some of these guys. Kyle Katarn, these are in the Hawk 290. So Kyle Katarn, Rourke Garnet, tons of people. The captured TIE from Captain Rex. That's right, it's a rebel ship there. Garvin Darklighter in I think that's Garvin was in the other ship, which I forget the name of right now. Is that an E-Wing? I can't remember. Hera, Wedge, Biggs, you name it, the list goes on. Sabine, we've got Rogue Squadron Escort. Pretty sure that's an E-Wing. Sabine again in another ship, which I can't make out of the silhouette right off the bat. Red Squadron, Garvin, and again, it just keeps going here. We also have to get a dial here and then some extra tokens. Again, these are the new tokens, new style tokens. The round tokens are going to be for the end of the round. You pull all of the round tokens. That's how that works. And some of the new square tokens as well. Flip this over, it's even more ships. You guys can kind of see there, just as an example, a couple of guys. This is in the U-Wing, so we've got Hef Tober and the Blue Squadron Scout as an example there. And this one, Ezra in the TIE, Nave Squadron Escort, that is an E-Wing, I was right. Zeb, Blue Squadron Escort in a T-65, Blue Squadron Escort as well. And again, remember the First Order and the Resistance fighters are two separate new factions. They're no longer in the Rebel Alliance, so keep that in mind. And just roll it around so you can see more of those guys. Moving on, tons of dials on this sheet specifically. If you're wondering what the heck these ships are for, they're actually labeled in the middle. You gotta kind of have to know these are E-Wings. These are the Hawk 290. Yeah, there's just a bunch of TIE fighters. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And then a whole bunch of the ships as well. Flipping that over, they're labeled on the bottom too. So it's going to take a little bit of legwork matching those up for you. But if you're a veteran and you're getting the upgrade pack because you need to upgrade your stuff, they're all labeled for you. Again, more end of round tokens on that sheet. More dials, more dots, more dials. We have some new force tokens as well, and charge tokens. And then again, those are square, so you can tell. This is, you flip them over to the other side when they're used or inactive. So the active position is the other side, and inactive, flip them over. And then again, all the dials are labeled, and I'll let you guys figure out what's what there. So next up, another sheet. These are the flip sides for your dials. So you can see T-65s, Z-95 Headhunters, shuttles, Hawk 290s, E-Wings, Azatok gunship. You get the idea. The A-Wing. I've got to have A-Wings, right? The TIE Fighter, the stolen one from Rebels. You also have turret markers here for the new Millennium Falcon turret to show which direction your turret is actually facing. Flipping these over, again, same deal there. And again, more of these little guys for your unique custom, the hard plastic limited edition ones. If you want to use those dials, you totally can. And finally, last one here, same deal. Let me turn it this way so you can see all of the stuff. These are the double arc for things like the new Millennium Falcon that was shown off. Lando ship has which is actually a scum and villainy, but whatever. It's got the double arc and then single arcs and stuff like that. So, but there you go, pretty cool stuff, and a couple of markers as well to show off status effects. So, and condition cards. So that's all of the sheets of cardboard. Now we get to the fun part, which is all the cards. We're going to start off with the ship cards, and I think it's appropriate to start with the ship the game is named after. So up first are the new X-Wing cards. We did show off Thane Kyrell already. He was in that extra pack of cards, but I figured the best way to chop this up was just go ship by ship. So here we go. You do get one Wedge, one Thane, one Garvin dress in the card packs. You get 2 Blue Squadron Escorts, 2 Red Squadron Veterans, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Biggs Darklighter himself. And you can see here, for the most part, ships are all going to be very similar across the board in terms of stats. So 3 dice primary, 2 dice agility, 4 hull, 2 shields. Again, slight tweak from the previous version in terms of hull shield ratio. And then action bar wise, exact same. You're going to have a focus, a new lock action, and a barrel roll. And then you can read the different pilot abilities there. Biggs did get a slight tweak, and Wedge is still a boss. So get ready to see those guys showing up just as much as before. Few ships are as iconic as the X-Wing, but the Y-Wing, I think, comes in a close second for me anyway. Here are the Y-Wing pilots. We already showed off Nora. She's kind of a new one for the Y-Wing slot anyway. But we have Nora Wexley, Dutch Vander, Horton Salm, Evan Verlaine. Sorry, Evan. I don't know how you say that one. You get one of each of those unique pilots, and then 2 Gray Squadron Bomber and 2 Gold Squadron Veterans. Stat-wise, you can see all the ships are going to be pretty much identical, and they have a focus, lock, barrel roll action, and the new reload action as well. So, pretty cool stuff right there. And then all of the named pilots each have a new unique ability, or not new in some cases, but they have unique pilot abilities versus the 2 generics that don't have it. Sometimes you just want to go fast, and few ships can do that better than the A-Wing. A-Wing's back, of course. We've got 4 different ship options here. Jake Farrell, get one of those. 1 Arvel Crynid, 2 Green Squadron pilots, and 2 Phoenix Squadron pilots. And of course, they do have vectored thrusters, as you can see, which is a new ship ability. Which after you perform an action, you can perform a red boost action. That's across the board, which is pretty neat. They also have quite the action-packed action bar with a focus, an evade, a lock, barrel roll, and boost. All of those are white. And then stat-wise here, 2 dice primary, 3 agility, 2 hull, 2 shields. And of course, the 2 unique pilots have some extra fun abilities to boost. The B-Wing is back as well, which, I mean, it's B, so it comes after A. So here we are with the B-Wing. 4 different ship pilots to go. With this one, we've got Braylon Stram, 10 Nub, 2 Blade Squadron Vets, and 2 Blue Squadron pilots. As you can see here, stat-wise, they are all very similar across the board, with 3 dice primary, 1 agility, 4 hull, 4 shields. So they're pretty beefy still. And then, of course, the 2 pilots, 2 unique pilots, 1 of each. Those have their own unique abilities as well. Action-wise, almost forgot. We do have the new linked actions, which let's take a moment to explain these. You can see here you have a focus, and then following the focus, you can choose to do a barrel roll as a follow-up linked action, which will give you a stress because it is red. On top of that, we also have a lock and the regular barrel roll. So if you just want to not focus, you can choose to focus and then barrel roll to get the red stress, or you can just barrel roll without the focus option. Z95 is up next. This is the new official ship title, is the Z95-AF4 Headhunter. So here you have it, 4 ships as well. We start with RN Kraken here at Initiative 5, Lieutenant Blout, which was one of my favorite Z95s back in the day. We have 3 Tala Squadron pilots, 1, 2, 3, and 3 Bandit Squadron pilots. Again, across the board, stat-wise, they're going to be the same. 2 dice primary, 2 evade, 2 hull, 2 shields. Not too bad, and again, these were like the little discount X-Wings, so you could run these in swarms. Action bar-wise, we've got a focus, a lock, and a red barrel roll option. And then, of course, Blout and Kraken have their 2 special unique pilot talents. Call in the Wookiees, because we're looking at the Azatec gunship next, with a whole bunch of names I'm not going to try to pronounce. First up, these 2 guys here, so you can see their names. I know Lorik, and then the Kashyyyk Defenders, there's 2 of those. These 2 are unique pilots. These 2 are the generic ones. Action bars, they've got a focus, the reinforce ability, and then, of course, a red barrel roll action. Stat-wise, they've got a 180 front arc shoot ability to shoot, so that's pretty neat. Pretty neat and unique. We've got, with a 3 dice primary, again, a 180 front arc attack, 1 agility, 6 hull, and 2 shields. The experimental wing is up. It's the E-Wing. Here we have Corin Horn, Gavin Darklighter, a Rogue Squadron Escort, and of course the Knave Squadron Escort as well. Action bar wise, these guys are pretty loaded. They've got a focus action, an evade action, a lock action, a linked barrel roll into a lock, or a boost linked action into a lock. Pretty cool stuff there. They're 3s across the board stat-wise, so pretty well-rounded there. Each ship also comes with experimental scanners, which is a ship ability That one says you can acquire locks beyond range 3. You cannot acquire locks at range 1, however. So kind of cool, kind of unique. And of course, Cornhorn and Gavin Darklighter each have their own special pilot abilities to go along with those. Hawk 290 is up next. Again, the Hawk 290 Light Freighter. This is piloted by Jan Ors, Kyle Katarn, Rourke Garnet, and Rebel Scout. And there's 2 Rebel Scouts, as you can see there. They have some pretty crazy actions, a lot of linked actions here. So first off, you can focus into a red rotate action for that turret that it has. You're going to be able to lock into a rotate red action. You can also boost as a red action. You can rotate as a white action, or you can jam ships with a red jam action. As mentioned, it does have a turret, so it has a 2-die attack turret that you can use there with the rotate action to move it around. It's got 2 agility, 3 shields, or sorry, 3 hull and 2 shields. And of course, all 3 of the unique pilots have their own special pilot abilities. U-Wing made its debut in Rogue One, and it's back in X-Wing here as well, 2.0. We've got Bodhi Rook, Cassian Andor, Heftober, and of course a Blue Squadron Scout. And you only get one of these. I thought that was kind of odd just because we've been seeing multiple generics, but sorry, only one Blue Squadron Scout. Stat-wise, these guys are the same across the board with a 3 front 90 attack, 2 agility, 5 hull, and 3 shields. Action bar-wise, we're going to be getting a focus, a lock, and the coordinate action. And all 3 of these guys, the unique pilots, of course, have unique pilot abilities. The K-Wing is ready for takeoff in X-Wing 2.0. We've got a Siege Tiku, Miranda Doni, and 2 Warden Squadron pilots, as you can see there. Fully loaded action bar with a focus, lock, a slam action, a rotate action for the turret, and then also a reload action for all that extra ordnance you can be packing. This ship also comes with a 180 turret, so that's going to be the opposite direction turrets. That's what that turret symbol is for. With a 2 dice primary, a 1 agility, 6 hull, and 3 shields. And of course, Miranda and Tiku are both going to come with their really cool pilot abilities. The ARC 170 Starfighter is one of my favorite ships from 1.0, and I'm glad to see it making its comeback in 2.0. Here we have a good look at the 4 unique pilots. There are no generics for this ship. We've got Nora Wexley, Garvindress, Sharabe, and Ibsasam. So, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that one. You can see here, they're all unique, so they each have their own unique pilot ability. Action bar-wise, those are going to come across as all the same. We've got a focus, a lock, and of course a red barrel roll, which is pretty fun. And it's actually going to have a unique 2-arc shot. So you've got a 3-die primary on the front and a 2-die primary in the rear, which is kind of fun. It's going to have a 1 agility, 6 hull, and 3 shields, and of course all of the ships have their unique pilot abilities to go along with those. Somebody call the Imperial Police, because we have a TIE jack in progress. We've got the TIE LN fighter that was captured by the crew in Rebels and repainted here. So this is Sabine's personal TIE. It's pretty fun looking. We've got Ezra, Sabine, Captain Rex, and Zeb, and of course there are no generics for this particular TIE. That's all the crew from Rebels there flying it. Action bar wise, they're going to be all the same. So focus, evade, barrel roll, which is actually very similar to the other TIEs. If you look though, there is an extra new thing here for Ezra. He does have a a force token that he can generate. If you look real close, there's a little triangle there. That means he's going to get that back at the end of each turn. So he's maximum of 1, and if he spends it on that turn, he's going to get it back at the end of the turn. So his force powers there. Stat-wise for the ship itself, it's going to have a 2-die front primary attack, 90 degree attack there, 3 evade and 3 hull. So no shields on that one. So be careful when you're flying it. Watch out for asteroids. And then of course each one of these pilots being unique is going to have their own unique pilot ability. And Ezra's does actually trigger off of his force power. So keep that in mind when you're flying. Seeing as how we're on a Rebel kick, let's talk about the Spectre 4. Of course, this was the attack shuttle that was docked inside of the VCX 100 before some stuff happened, which I'm not going to spoil here. But piloting, we have Hera, Sabine, Ezra, and Zeb. Again, the crew from Rebels from flying this thing. It can start docked when it has a special ship ability locked and loaded. So when you have the VCX 100 and it's docked in there and it fires with a primary front attack or a turret attack, the special turrets, which we'll get to later, you can perform a bonus rear attack with the ship. So pretty fun there. Each one of these is going to have a special unique pilot talent, action bar wise, focus, evade, and you can barrel roll into an evade for red, which is kind of neat. Ezra back again with a focus power, a focus token that he generates. And ship wise here, it's going to be a 3 attack primary, 2 evade, 3 hull, and 1 shield. Again, if you're a fan of Rebels, you know what happens to the previous one. So now we're looking at the brand new Spectre 6. Sort of. There's a couple different versions of the ship here. This is actually Spectre 6, Spectre 4, and then these two. This is a Reluctant Rebel and Escaped Analyst Droid subtitles for these ships. But they're all the same shuttle class. Piloting the ships, we have Fenn Rau at Initiative 6. So he's actually really fast on the draw there. Ezra, Zeb is back, and then AP5, which is the escaped droid here. This does function as a comm shuttle, so all the ships have this ability. While you are docked, your carrier ship gains coordinate. Before your carrier ship activates, it can perform a coordinate action, which is kind of fun. Ezra still has a force power to go, and this ship actually has 2 firing arcs, one in the front, one in the back. Both of them are 2 dice. It also comes with 2 evade, 4 hull, and 1 shield. And then, of course, each one of these being a unique pilot has a unique pilot ability. Last but not least on that Rebels kick is the VCX 100 Light Freighter. This became the home of the Rebels crew, flying around in the Spectre 3. Here we have Hera, Kanan, Chopper in this one, and then of course the generic Lothal Rebel if you don't want to fly the named ship there. Each one of these is going to come with Tail Gunner as part of a ship action. So if you have a dock ship, it can fire out of the rear, which again works with the other abilities. And of course, Hera, Kanan, and Chopper each have a unique pilot ability. The ship itself is pretty beefy with a 4 attack primary. It's also really easy to hit with no evade. It's kind of a flying brick. But it does have 10 hull and 4 shields to soak that damage. On top of that, it's got some pretty cool looking actions. The actions on the ship are focus, lock, and reload. If you notice here, Chopper also has the calculate action, which is like focus for robots. So, yeah. It's everybody's favorite modified YT-1300 Light Freighter, the Millennium Falcon. Rocking this ship, of course, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, Chewbacca, and the Outer Rim Smuggler, which I don't know if he's actually in the Falcon or not, but whatever. Point being, this ship's back with a vengeance in 2.0 X-Wing. It's going to come with a focus, a lock, a boost action, and of course the turret rotation action. Ship-wise, it's going to have the dual turrets, so it's going to be able to fire opposite turrets with a 3-die primary. It's got 1 evade, 8 hull, and 5 shields, and of course all these pilots, the 3 unique pilots, have their own special abilities. Unfortunately for the Outer Rim Smuggler, not so much. The last ship up is the YT-2400 Light Freighter, one of my personal favorite ships in the entire game of X-Wing because of this man right here, Dash Rendar. We also have Lebo and then 2 Wild Space Fringers here that you're going to get as generic pilots. The ship itself has a sensor blind spot, if you remember the donut there. While you perform a primary attack action at range 0 to 1, do not apply the range 0 to 1 bonus and roll 1 fewer attack die. So if you get within range 0 to 1 of this ship, it's going to shoot you. It's only going to get a 3-die attack instead of a 5-die attack. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, it does have the 180 turret, so it's going to shoot in front and back, depending on where you have it pointed. It's going to have 4 dice for that. It's going to have 2 evade, 6 hull, and 4 shields. So it's pretty squirrely. On top of that, action bar wise, Lebo's got the calculate action. The other 2 are going to have focus options for their action bar, and then they all have lock and a red barrel roll, as well as the rotate action, because it is rocking the turret. On top of that, Dash and Lebo both have unique pilot abilities. The Wild Space Fringer does not. Before we get into the upgrades, we're going to take a quick pit stop and look at the 2 condition cards. This is for Captain Rex. You have Suppressive Fire, and then also if you have a listening device as an option there, that's what that card does. In the box, you're going to get a couple of double-sided cards. First up, we have the servo motor S-foils open and closed options here, and you can see the difference between those two. And then also for the U-wing, we have the pivot wing open and pivot wing closed. Again, these are for specific ships, which you can see here down at the bottom. Those are going to be only used on those ships, and they actually will slot into the left side of the ship, different from the rest of the upgrades, which we're going to go over right now. Here are the modification cards, and you're going to get 2 of every single one of these. Starting on the left here, we've got electronic baffle and munitions failsafe. The middle column here on the left, advanced slam, hull upgrade, static discharge vanes. The center column on the right there, ablative plating, engine upgrade, shield upgrade, and then finally on the far right, we've got tactical scrambler and stealth device. Now, some of these are different from what they used to be. For example, engine upgrade now can be equipped if you have a red boost action, it becomes a white boost action. Title cards haven't gone away, but they have changed just a touch here. Of course, these can only be equipped on their respective ships, so we're going to go through those real fast. We've got the Moldy Crow title upgrade. That's going to be for a Rebel or Scum Hawk 290. The Millennium Falcon for the Rebel modified YT 1300, of course. We've got the Ghost for the Rebel VCX 100. We've also got the Phantom for the Rebel Attack Shuttle or the Stealthipede class shuttle. Again, either one of those ships will work. And then finally, we've got the Outrider for the Rebel YT 2400. It's astromech time for the Rebels. We've got Chopper, who is a unique astromech there on the far right. We've got the R2 astromech, R3 astromech, R4 astromech, and the R5 astromech. Now, other than Chopper, these 4 astromechs are all going to come with 2 copies, and they are not unique, so you can add them to any ship that qualifies. There is a couple limitations here. For example, the R4 astromech is a small ship only, and Chopper is Rebel only. The Rebel upgrade pack also comes with some illicit options as well. Not all ships can equip these, so be sure to check the shipbuilder app that's coming out for X-Wing to figure out which ships can actually use these in the Rebel ships. So going over these real fast, we've got Contraband Cybernetics. You get 2 of those. You get 1 cloaking device, which I thought was odd, but there you have it, 1 of those. 2 dead man switches, 2 rigged cargo chutes, 2 inertial dampeners, and 2 feedback arrays. Here's the first batch of EPTs or Elite Pilot Talents that we're going to be looking at today. We've got 2 crack shots, 2 daredevils, 2 debris gambits, 2 intimidations, 2 expert handlings, 2 elusives, 2 jukes, 2 marksmanships, but only 1 lone wolf. This is the second batch of EPTs we're looking at here. We're going to go starting right here. We have 2 saturation salvos, 2 swarm tactics, 2 predators, which has changed. It now says while you perform a primary attack, if the defender is in your bullseye arc, you may reroll 1 attack die. Slight change from the previous version there. Trick shot, you get 2 of those. 2 outmaneuvers. You actually get 3 selfless cards, and then 1 squad leader card. There's not a ton of system slot cards in the box, but we do have 3 here. We've got the collision detector, you use 2 of those. The advanced sensors, there's 2 of those, and 2 of the classic fire control systems, which have changed just a touch. The cannons are back as well. We've got 2 ion cannons, 2 of the newer jamming beam options, 2 tractor beams, and then everybody's favorite, 2 heavy laser cannons. Following up with the cannons, we have their little brothers, the turrets. We've got 2 ion cannon turrets and 2 dorsal turrets. And since we're talking about cannons and turrets, let's take a look at the new gunner slot. This is the first batch of gunners we're going to be taking a look at. These are the 4 unique gunners you can have. Han Solo, Ezra, Bistan, and of course, Luke Skywalker. And if you notice, Ezra and Luke both give you a +1 Force token, which regens at the end of every turn. Here's the next batch of gunner cards. You get 2 of each of these. You get 2 veteran turret gunners, 2 hotshot gunners, 2 skilled bombardiers, and 2 veteran tail gunners. And of course, each one of these has a slightly different effect, so be sure to read over those to choose which gunner you want to take as riding shotgun on your ships. So one thing Rebels do have, it's crew members. They have a crap load of crew members. We're starting off here with the 6 generic crew members you can have. On the far right here, we've got the GNK Gonk droid. There's 2 of those, 2 tactical officers, 2 seasoned navigators, 2 perceptive co-pilots, 2 freelance lessers, and finally 2 novice technicians. The next batch we're going to look at is what I'm going to dub the OG Star Wars crew. So we have C-3PO, R2-D2, 9 Nub, Chewbacca, Lando, and Leia Organa. And these are all unique crew members. You only get one of these options each. The next batch of crew, I'm dubbing the Rogues. Why? Because they're all in Rogue One. We have Baze, Jin, and Cassian Andor. These are all unique. All three of these, you only get one card each. The last batch, these are Rebels, because they're from the show Rebels, for the most part. We'll get in there. We have Kanan Jarrus, Sabine Wren, Chopper, Hera, Zeb, and then the Informant. One of the best things about Star Wars, in my opinion, is blowing stuff up. And with these torpedoes, you can do just that. We've got the advanced proton torpedoes, regular proton torpedoes, and the new ion torpedoes. Ion torpedoes have changed a little bit, so you be sure to double check how those work, because they actually do damage now. Rockets and missiles are up next. We've got 2 cluster missiles, 2 concussion missiles, 2 homing missiles, 2 proton rockets, and 2 ion missiles. And the very last set of upgrades here are going to be your bomb options, or your mines, your nets, all that fun stuff. We've got 2 Connor nets included, 2 proton bombs, 2 proximity mines, 2 seismic charges, and 1 bomblet generator card. Well, folks, that's everything you're going to find in the Star Wars X-Wing Rebel Alliance conversion kit. I'm Adam here from BoLS. Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.